twins? I never seen red-headed twins before.
Leave me be.
Hey! Why are you so blurry?
Workbenches. Free if you need to tinker with that heater box.
Oh, hi!
Like my uncle used to say, better half a saying.
Please. I'll drink you under the table anytime.
Look at you! This is what I was forged to do.
Put a sock in it, will you? You keep the noise down. Some of us.
Shop looks closed.
Yep,
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
Still sipping your ales, I see.
This should be useful.
Shop's closed, Red.
Now I just need to find
You're welcome
Erend
to
and help him
use the
clear the
workbench.
bristlebacks.
Best I can do.
You had to bring it up, huh?
Brother! Look! We still haven't started that.
What's wrong with my face?
How goes it, Hammerhead? Took you long enough.
If an Oseram
Oh,
hammers
there!
metal in an empty forge,
Yeah. Not working.
Why else would one leave the glory of Maine? Boredom. Nothing interesting. Claim is known. That's why we travel as far as the unknown.
We are on the same side here, Ulvund.
The bristlebacks threat. What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of Helus.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Olvent Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a...
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy when my fellow laborers are being intimidated and taken ad...
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risked nothing, while demanding that good Osram, someone had to step...
You...
Indeed, until the I'm not
Fair deal.
It's not mine. It's on behalf of all who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Carja reap the reward. All we're asking for is the ability for a land worked by the...
Right.
Only an amount appropriate to my...
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not in...
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done...
If that's what it takes. Until then...
Just be ready to blow the whistle. Better see what that Carja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Eyes up here, sister!
Never met a beer I didn't like. Or couldn't finish.
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a...
Enjoy it while it
Sounds like you're serving up some...
Not again. You can...
I think you have me confused.
Olvin didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people...
Oh, yeah. But the equipment I need to make my signature dishes, and don't get me started on the Ulvin...
And if you were...
I make meals, not trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the front. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. So I got my... Some of these people had never tasted proper... Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept where I'm headed.
I would be happy to oblige. But my special groove griddle is no... Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll... Even if I already... Unless...
What do you need?
For the ingredient, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll... As for the until I can have... You'd likely find... Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll... Assuming you're...
Thanks.
So... If you say so.
Savior, over here.
I put my back into my work. Need a short break.
Savior, thank you for taking the time, and my condolences.
I've dealt with worse. That sounds like he's really trying to...
The idea that the Carja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the Bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is Barren Light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvund up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvund wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Hence, why the concession and why blaming, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
How does blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks help Ulvund get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust, and claiming that the Karja loosed the Bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers, well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. And with the Bristlebacks bringing work in the valley to a halt, Ulvund has plenty of time to pick at barely healed wounds.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
You said the Bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one, said the ground trembled before he took off and...
Good place to start looking.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the... And maybe then, he'll actually focus on...
Last time I was back, he'd already started walking.
Aloy, change your mind about that brew? Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
Ha! There's that spark. Fire and spit. That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knock.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back, but realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Carja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Carja for anything.
Damn Carja slavers.
So about...
Around here, everything's about...
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would... So he jangled purses all over Maine, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt. That thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Carja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession.
This concession decree...
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Carja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Carja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Ulvund has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an Elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Almost ready to go?
Boredom. Nothing interesting.
Don't you think I forgot? Is there a reason you didn't want to dance with me last night? Nora in the Daunt.
Smartest
Now
man
I've
ever
never-
stand. Exactly.
Camera tongue. I hope Corbin and the others are doing better than I am.
What happened to you?
That damn mine is what happened to me. It won't be the last injury if Ulvund keeps shoving those tongs into those tunnels.
What mine?
Northeast of Chainscrape, where the river ends. I told Corvin we should stop when the first cave-in happened, but Ulvund probably threatened to cut off her pay. Or worse.
How about you slow down and take me through it? You mentioned you...
Yeah, a couple days ago. Corvin and the others were opening a new vein while as soon as their blast hit. Might have dodged it if I wasn't running on barely a spark of sleep. We were pushing too hard and too fast.
And you're afraid Corvind and the others might not...
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail.
How come Olvin's in charge?
Try telling Olvin that. He brought in all the backing to get him open. Fire and spit.
Who's Corvind?
He's their foreman. And a damn good one. The kind that knows how to deal with management when it gets unreasonable. But Olvind... his demands go beyond unreasonable. Corvin's been doing his best to appease him. He even blamed himself for my injury, when it was Olvin who ordered the extra shifts.
Sounds like a good guy.
That's why we all put up with the long hours and lousy conditions. But if the whole mine... I'd rather suffer Olvin's wrath than die buried in rubble.
I could check in on your crew if I'm in the area.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Anyone see where I put my drink? Watch as I walk in a straight. Do I have to say it every time?
Dreaming.
I think I have enough butter left. There. That should be enough wild meat for Mildred. She is weak against frost. I find the right cauldron, I'd learn how to ride this machine. Coated with acid. Scroungers. Motive said I could find a metal panel in one of their scrap piles. Find this in my stash later. No metal panel. Better check another scrap pile. think I have everything I need for Mildred. Good thing, too. I could use a decent meal. Can't override that now. Maybe get data from the cauldron, if I can find one.